Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host, Jennifer. Now, see, some of you are so used to my tagline being the same every episode, you probably tried to mouth those words along with me. I changed it up today. Just to confuse you. Alright, so today, what is today? Today is another POW video. And I don't have the energy to POW, so just pretend I did the POW thing. It is bright and early. I think today, yes, today's Tuesday morning. You're going to see this Friday because that's when this yarn is going to be released on Premier Yarns website. And as you can tell, I just crawled out of bed because my hair is atrocious. That's my emo face. Oh, no. Now it's my emo face. There we go. I'm feeling emo today, guys. Like, oh. Anyway, enough nonsense. It's yarn release day. Alright, so I'm gonna dump the contents of this bag on my desk. I gotta do it carefully because it has my home address on it. And there's crazy people in the world. Alright, so we have actually two different yarns that are being released today. And we got the Confident. I love that Premier does this. I don't know why this is so silly, but Premier Yarns does a confidential folder. And it's red because Premier Yarns is like red. And I don't know, I feel so special getting a confidential folder. We have two new yarns. We have two new yarns. And they sent me quite a bit of each. So the first one I'm going to talk about is faux fur. I, as always, am brutally honest on this channel. Not the biggest fan of faux fur in general, because what do you do with it, right? I mean, there's limited things that I can come up with, but I actually did come up with I mixed two Premier yarns together with this faux fur, and it came out beautifully. What did I do? It's got to be in here. Okay, it's at the bottom of the pile. So the faux fur comes in 6 different colors, and they're fur-based colors. So it comes in Harp Seal, which is white, Chinchilla, which is I don't think, yeah, they did send, is this Chinchilla? No, they sent me Mink. The Chinchilla is like white with like a goldy brown. And then they sent me this one, which is Mink. And the picture makes the Mink look more brown, whereas this is more gray. That's very common, and I'm going to tell you why. Because as a former photographer, my past life I was a photographer, the difference between the lighting. So you've seen this on the channel before. If I adjust how warm or how cool my lighting is, it changes the color of the yarn. So that's why I'm constantly reaching up and touching, and you'll see the color shift. That plus what the camera is programmed to see color as, which you can also alter, and you guys should know that if you do the white balance on your phones. But also the way it's processed, the way your computer screen looks, the way that the printer is, like, there's so many things that can change the way the colors look, which is why I tell you guys, like, this is what I see when I see the yarn. So on here, and I don't know about the website yet because the website haven't loaded the yarn yet, it looks more brown on the page that they sent me, which is the picture they're probably going to use on the internet. It is more gray toned in person. There's brown in it, but it's very much, I think this is the prettiest one. This one's my favorite. And then there is Chipmunk, which is right here. And the Chipmunk, again, on the photo looks much more brown. And on here, in my personal vision, it has like a olive undertone, like a green undertone. But I don't know unless you're specifically trained for color like my brain is, because the photographer thing, like, you have to be trained to read even slight color imbalances. I don't know that you're gonna see that it's slightly green, but I see that there's a slight olive tone to this. And then there's Lemur, which is really pretty, and then black. Okay, so what they sent me, and I'm gonna tell you, there's 54 yards in each one of these balls. It's 100% polyester. It's a 100-gram ball. It's a 6, super bulky. It's really soft. It is very typical of every other faux fur on the market. Do I have the price? I don't think I have the price point of these. And I'm sure that it's in my email, but my phone is in the other room. Anyway, I want to say it was $4.99, but I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me on that. As a matter of fact, let me go grab my phone and see if that information is in my email so that we have all of the information. Look at that, I was correct. It is $4.99 for the faux fur. Alright, and then, oh, yeah, so the next yarn I'm going to show you is a really, really good price, which is crazy. Okay, so the colors that Premier gifted to me so that I could show you and work with it and give you an idea of how to work with this yarn. They gave me the black one, which is called Raven. The white one, which is the Harp Seal. They sent me the Mink, which is my favorite. And then they sent me the Chipmunk, which is green leaning. And some of you are going to be like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. It's just, it has the hint, it looks brown on camera. And that's what I'm saying is like my eye is reading a slight green. And when I show you what I worked it up with, you'll probably understand what I'm saying. So I did in fact use the Chipmunk because I wanted to come in here, and what I was thinking is, first of all, my favorite thing to do with faux fur is to put it on the trim of a hat. Or to make an entire hat out of fur because I'm extra. And I just really love the idea of a fur hat. Now, this goes back to being a poor child. Our landlord had an actual mink hat. And ironically enough, our landlord was the man who designed and created the engine for the Pinto, which is a car by Ford. So he was our landlord. His name was Amo. We called him Amo. His name was Emil. E-M-I-L. Anyway, I digress. He was our landlord. He always came over for Christmas time because he was like a family friend of my grandmother's who died when I was 1.5. Anyway, he always had a mink cap, and I always thought, like, rich people have fur hats. And he wasn't rich, but like he owned several houses, so to me, like, he was rich. We rented. Anyway, it's long story longer. The idea of having a fur hat, an entirely fur hat, or having fur frame out your face, to me is the epitome of glamour and fanciness. And I just really like having fur around my face because it makes me feel pretty and feminine and fancy and rich and like all the stupid things. Right? So that was the idea. I was like, I'm going to take these yarns and I am going to make fur trimmed hats. So I came in here, I was like, okay, what yarn have I not packed away that's a bulky weight yarn? Right? So right off the bat, I looked in this bag right here, which I never put away or packed away, is the Serenity Chunky. And I was like, okay, but that would be beautiful together. So this is Chunky Tweed. This is one of the new colorways. I was thinking these would be beautiful together. That would just be such a pretty hat, right? Or even the gray. But then I was like, okay, well, maybe the gray with the black. Okay. Maybe the gray with the gray. No, wrong tone. And then I also have this green, but again, I was like, it would look good with the white. I didn't want to work with the white, and I tried the other colors. That would be pretty. I don't like that. Definitely not. And so, as I'm sitting here, and I'm trying to think, okay, what other yarns do I have from Premier that is a super bulky or a bulky yarn? That way I could just use one hook all the way through the project. You could use a skinny yarn and then do a bigger hook with the yarn for the hat base, for the trim. You could do that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted a bulky yarn. So just so happens that something fell off my shelf and was down here in this mess. Okay, because this all needs to be packed. And it was the Spice Shop. This is a wool yarn. This is a bulky number 6. And so this is not a new yarn release. This yarn has been around for a while. And I fell in love with the colors when it came out. Also, there's a couple things. I fell in love with the Spice Shop thing because cinnamon stitches. So I was like, oh, it's kinda in a roundabout way named after cinnamon stitches. It's not, but like that's what I was thinking. It's like, cool, cinnamon, right? I could work with that. I really like the colors of this yarn, and this yarn reminded me of a yarn that Universal Yarns released a long time ago. And I can't even remember the name of it because it's got the wool in it, and it's like a bulky yarn, and it's got these amazing watercolor colors on it. This one is the color Curry. And when I saw this, I was like, the black, because there's a little hint of black in here. So I went and showed my color expert, which he's not. He just basically verifies whatever it is that I think I want to do. And he's like, yeah, good idea. As all husbands should do. Just smile and nod, right? So I was like, kind of like the black. And I sat down, and the more I worked this up, I was like, I don't like the black. Because this has the brown that's leaning kind of green. And I just loved the way that looked together. I was like, okay, that is a match made in heaven. And I, Cinnamon Stitches, do not like warm tones very often. I steer clear of browns. I don't like, I'm not a big fan of oranges unless it's mixed with pink. Like orange and pink are like made in heaven, right? I was like, but these just look like they were made to go together. Okay, so we have the Spice Shop in the color Curry. Like I said, this is a bulky number 6. I think this is on sale right now too. Well, it's on sale Tuesday the 14th. I don't know if it'll be still on sale on Friday. The color Curry, it is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. You can absolutely feel the wool. But the good thing about having the faux fur, if you have hair, and you have a lot of hair like I do, because my hair is very thick and luxurious. If you are sensitive to wool touching your face like I am, if you make a hat with the fur that touches your face, you can have a nice warm wool hat that's touching your hair, that's not necessarily itchy on your face and ears, and then put a nice thick fur border, and then you have like something soft touching your face instead of the wool that can be itchy to some people. So this is a very simple top down double crochet hat. I worked it in a spiral instead of joining and chaining up. I just worked in a spiral. So I did, here's the pattern, write it down, okay? I did 10 double crochet in the center in a magic ring. The next row, I did 2 double crochets in each stitch, and where the last stitch of the row was, I put 2 double crochets on the stem of that stitch so that I could work up into a spiral, and it was just a continuous spiral all the way around. So you will see there's not a line of demarcation, it just works in a spiral. These colors of this hat are so beautiful. And then I did the typical increase when you're working in the round. So row 1 was 10 double crochet. The next row I did 2 in each stitch, and then I did 2 on the stem of the very first stitch of that row. And I did, so that would have been 24 double crochet for the next row. And then the next row after that, I just kept, move your stitch marker so you know where the end of the row kinda is. The next row I did a single crochet and an increase, a single crochet and an increase all the way around. Next row I did 2 single crochets and an increase all the way around, and on and on and on until it was big enough that it would fit my head. I think I got to 3 double crochet and an increase, which I can't do with my fingers, 3 and an increase. I did that. I have a large head. My head is 24 to, it's about 24 inches. I got a big head with a lot of hair, okay? So I think I did to that, and then I just double crocheted in the spiral. This is what it looks like. And then when I got to about here, where the hat pulled down over my head to about here, I did 2 rows of half double crochet with the same hook. And this is what my beautiful hat looks like. And so the wool is not touching my ears or my face so that it's not itchy, but the wool is still in the hat. The wool is beautiful, it's colorful, it's warm, it's breathable, it's all of the good qualities that wool and acrylic have in them. And we have this beautiful fur touching us so it's not itchy. So that is the main thing I could tell you to do with faux fur. You can make an entire hat out of faux fur. Now I do have tips If you're going to use the faux fur, this recommended an 8mm crochet hook. I used a 7mm and it worked fine. You need to learn to feel where your stitches are. As you go along, there will be a very defined, because this is fur on one side and there's like a rope almost on the other side right here where the fur is attached to. When you make the stitches and you go to the next row to feel, you could feel where that cord is. Stick your hook in there. It's that simple, because I know people are like, I can't see my stitches. Feel them. And fur and big fluffy yarns like this are very forgiving in if you accidentally do 2 stitches in one, or you skip a stitch on accident. Just go along and feel for where that rope is and stick your hook in and do a stitch. Go to the next part. Feel where the rope is. It is very obvious. You could feel like a string and a gap. So that's how I work with faux fur. Big hook and feel your way along and take your time and enjoy it. But isn't this beautiful? But I'm definitely thinking, for sure, I want to make something with the white. I might make an entirely white hat, because I used to have one I got from the thrift store years ago, and it was just a white faux fur hat. I just think that would be fun. Or I really want to make something with this, but I need the perfect pairing yarn to make the base of the hat with, and I want it to be bulky so that I only have to use one hook. But I really like the, and they're only $4.99. So these are the 4 colors that I have. Really, really like those, and it paired beautifully with the Spice Shop. I was even looking, because last night I was like, okay, the Spice Shop is on sale, and the Spice Shop has really beautiful colors. Let me see if I can go to Premier's website so that I can show you the Spice Shop yarn as well, because why not? Because it paired so beautifully. Like the curry with the chipmunk is just beautiful. Alright, so the Spice Shop is on sale for $4.79 right now. It's normally $5.99. And it comes in really, really pretty fun colors. And so this one is cilantro, which is one of my favorite colors. The way it worked up was so beautiful. That would be beautiful paired with the black. This one is the color saffron. I think that would be really pretty with the white. I think the juniper berry would be very beautiful with the white, because there is actually white in the yarn. Or the cayenne would be beautiful with the chipmunk, because it kind of has this brownish tone to it, which is not showing up at all. And it's down here. It's kind of brown right here. I just think that would be really pretty. So, and then of course I showed you the curry. They have salt and pepper, which would go beautiful with the white or the black. Yeah. Sweet pepper would be beautiful with the white or the black. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful hats. And do you see what I'm talking about? Is like this brown has like a little bit of green in it. See, there's like green and like green leaning brown here and here. And it just complemented the fur so much. Like, it just looks like it was meant to go together. Ponyo's mad because she's not in here with Grammy. And like I said, this is a very simple double crochet in the round, in the spiral. $4.99 for that one. All right, next we have Re-Ply. Now, this yarn shocked me, and I'm going to tell you why, because I know yarn companies hate being compared to other yarn companies, but I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I am an affiliate with Lion Brand as well. Okay? I am. I don't show Lion Brand very often because Lion Brand's a little bit on the expensive side. I don't like all the Lion Brand's yarns, and so I am absolutely an affiliate with Lion Brand. And Lion Brand's going to hate that I say this. They have a recycled yarn line called Re-something. So there's like a recycled polyester yarn. They have all these recycled yarns. I'm grateful for the recycled yarns because it's too hot for a hat. I'm too hot for that hat right now. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, like recycled is a good thing, right? This yarn says it's made out of 100% recycled materials. on the paper. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Recycled, oh. Okay, so this paper says recycled materials, but it says on the label what it's made of. And I'm fairly confident the label is made out of recycled paper because it feels very flimsy. Whereas Premier labels are usually pretty thick and sturdy. This one feels very thin. So keep that in mind. If you hate when your labels tear, these labels might tear. That's just an observation, not a complaint. Because I don't care if my labels pop off because I just tape them back on. It's not a big deal to me. Some people hate it. They freak out like, oh, the label needs to be better quality. Okay, but the whole idea is this is recycled yarn. Anyway, Premier sent me a whole bunch of the colors. A whole bunch of the colors. Look at how beautiful these shades are. Okay? Now, this comes in 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18 colors. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the colors. So they sent me half of the colors, which is fantastic. It's 251 yards. It's a DK weight, which means it's a lightweight number 3. To those of you that don't know what DK weight means, I get a lot of comments about what is DK, what is worsted. It's the thickness of the yarn. That's what that means. All right. So like I was saying about Lion Brand, is they have a recycled line of yarns. I hate them. I've reviewed them on the channel. The yarn that I got, and it was back when Joann's had the yarn brand new. It was, I don't remember, it was Re-Up or something like that. And I think it was recycled polyester. It shed all over my desk. It was fibers. And it made me itchy because it was almost like I was touching fiberglass. You know, that kind of, you know what I'm talking about. I hated the yarn. I didn't like the way it felt. It felt icky, yucky to me. And I also have skin problems. And I'm currently right now battling. I can feel a flare-up is trying to happen in my hands. I'm super itchy. So, and I might be out of lotion. I might have to go buy some today. I do have chemical reactions to yarns. I have eczema really bad, so I'll have breakouts and I'll have flare-ups and I have all kinds of issues with my skin. I say these things because some of you might totally disagree and love the Re-Up yarn from Lion Brand. I can't use it. It makes me itchy. It feels gross. It shed all over my desk. There is a review on the channel somewhere of it. If you search Cinnamon Stitches and Lion Brand, it should pop up. But, I mean, I'm basically telling you I didn't like the yarn. This yarn, when I saw that it was recycled, I was like, oh. First of all, I saw this color, which is beautiful and matches my hair. Like, real close. I might have to make something out of this color. I was like, I saw the paper first, and I was like, oh, I don't like recycled yarn. I'm not against the idea of recycled yarn. I love, but like recycled yarn has, my experience, it feels gross. This does not feel gross. I actually really like the way it feels. It is 50% recycled acrylic, 30% recycled cotton, and 20% recycled polyester. So when they say it's recycled materials, it's recycled materials. It's acrylic, cotton, and polyester. And I think the combination of it is what makes it feel nicer. This almost reminds me of the way it feels is similar to the Alize or Alizé cotton gold that I used for the pink top I made for Olga. I say her last name wrong every time and I didn't realize I was saying it wrong. Poltava. Olga Poltava. I was saying Peltova. Anyway, the pink top I made for her that it was her beautiful water lilies pattern or whatever. I cannot remember the name of that. I'm so sorry, Olga. Anyway, this reminds me of the Alizé gold cotton yarn a little bit. Like, it kind of feels, you can feel the cotton more than you can feel the acrylic. I'm going to work up a swatch on camera right now because since I showed you what the hat worked up like with the fur and what you could do with the fur, I wanted my idea, because I don't like working in solid yarns. I don't like it. It bores me to tears. First thing I thought of with these beautiful colors is I want to make granny squares. I'm not a big fan of granny squares. I hate putting them together, but I want to at least put one granny square together with multiple colors on the channel for you guys to give you an idea of what I was thinking. All right, so I told you the fiber content. It's a lightweight number 3. Machine wash cold, lay flat to dry. This is the color purple, which I'm going to call Cinnamon Stitch's hair, which is trying to bleach out a little bit. You got some pink happening underneath, but that's all right. It says it meets the global recycled standards. 251 yards, 230 meters, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. I'm recycled, and it's the Premier Re-Ply. So what I noticed about this yarn, and it's probably because of the different fibers in here, it's not a solid, it's more of a tonal, which means there's different tones of the color. And I'll show you what I mean. So it's not just solid purple. You see how it's like light purple, dark purple? I just think that is so pretty. It gives it more of a hand-dyed feel. So I'm showing it up close. It's washed out because it's so close to my camera, but this is very accurate to the purple that it is. Okay, so that's purple. This one is red. This one is giving me like raspberry color, because the light red in there, and this is not doing it justice. It just looks red on camera. It is a very beautiful berry color. And it doesn't, it just looks red on here too, but in person, it has little pink speckles in it, which gives it more of a, it reminds me of raspberry. It's kind of accurate, but it's very berryish. It's not cherryish, it's like berryish. And then we have mint. Do you see the tonal effect? So it's like lights and darks in there. That's really pretty, mint. And then we have pastel pink and salmon. And we have lilac. And we have sky. These colors, I'm just thinking like baby blanket or like a really beautiful granny blanket. And then we have light gray and yellow. And I think these two, I love yellow and gray together. I think these would be so pretty together. So I wanted to work up, like I said, a little swatch. I'm trying to figure out what colors I want to work up together because I want it to stand out. Oh, I like mixing darks with red, or darks with lights. I mean, the purple and the purple would be beautiful together. Purple and yellow, I mean, that's pretty. Purple and blue, oh, that I like that better. Purple and blue and yellow, or do we need a dark in between? Or mint? I'm trying to decide. I don't like the red in there. Red and the yellow are okay together. The red and the pink, pretty. Red and light purple, that's okay. Red and, ooh, I like the red and gray together. You know what? We're just gonna go. We're just gonna go. Now this says that's my son. He's making loud noises. He has to go to the doctor in a few minutes, so I gotta hurry this up. This says 4mm crochet hook. So I have a 4.5mm crochet hook. Where's my 4mm? My son has not taken his medicine yet, so he's gonna be extra loud and obnoxious, but we're gonna pretend we can't hear him. Because where is my 4mm? You know what? My 4mm is probably in my bag. That's a 5. Where is my 4mm? I keep my 4mm in my my Woobles bag. All right, let's go to the table. We're gonna work up a quick granny square. I just want to see how I feel about this yarn because it feels nice in the skein, but what does it work up like? Is it gonna shed like the Lion brand? I forgot to tell you guys the price point for this yarn. I think, yeah, $2.49. At $2.49, you could buy 2 colors and hold them together and make your own marled yarn like we did with the yarn from the thrift store. Just saying. All right. We're going to do yellow in the center, and then we're going to work out to purple. All right. Take your time and center pull. I'm feeling rushed now because I know I have to go to the doctor's appointment. All right. We have, I pulled out 2 ends, which is usually a bad sign. Oh well, we only need a little bit because we're just making the center, right? Alright, so we're starting with the yellow, which is called yellow. I think a better name for this would be Buttercup. This reminds me of Buttercup. Alright, so the texture of the yarn, it feels kind of fuzzy, sticking to my fingernail, but not to my fingers. Stuck to, I've been picking really bad. That's a nervous thing. So it's sticking to my finger splinters, but not like the skin. Alright. I'm just going to make a very typical granny square. This is not a tutorial how to make a granny square. There are lots of those on the internet. And lots of different ways to make a granny square. I'm just making a very basic one. There's probably going to be a bonus video this weekend because I got notification today that there are 60 cards in my P.O. box for my son. Which I've never, even at Christmas time, gotten that much mail. So he is going to lose his mind when he sees how many cards there are for him. I just wanted to prepare you guys, but I wanted to say that kind of quiet so he's out of earshot. He calls Ponyo Beanie Bean. That's what he's saying over and over again. Alright, let's do 2 rows of the yellow. Because why not? I'm going to do 2 rows of the yellow. Everybody trying to keep him quiet. He hasn't had his medicine yet. He's severely ADHD if you're new here. They're trying to keep him quiet because Mom is working. But you guys don't mind him being loud. I don't mind him being loud. You know, when you have a big accident like that and you realize how fragile life can be, it's the little things like that just don't bother you anymore. Like, I would so much rather him be loud than the house be silent. I think you guys know what that means. I'll take his loud, screaming, pterodactyl voice any day of the week. This yarn still feels pretty nice. It feels soft. It does not at all feel like it is shedding on my desk. And because my desk is so smooth butcher board, like I can feel, like if my skin is shedding on here, I can feel it. And I don't feel any shedding on my desk. Alright, we got some yellow in there. It's soft, but it has, there's almost a powdery feel to it, like with cotton, with some cottons. This reminds me of vintage sugar and cream is what it reminds me of. Not the new stuff, but the vintage stuff that's softer that I just discovered is softer. Alright, see if I can find the center pull. Oh, my center pull came out pretty easily. There is something about purple and yellow together, or teal and yellow, or like aqua and yellow, that just is so beautiful to me. And I like doing the light with the dark. I think this is going to be beautiful. Alright. Come over here. Of course the dogs are now going to bark. Now, as always, I tend to give honest reviews no matter what. If I'm not a big fan, like at the beginning of this video, I told you right off the bat, I'm not a huge fan of fun fur or faux fur. Like, I don't use it a whole lot. I kind of want to make an amigurumi using that fun fur, but it's not like my jam. But oh, on the trim of a hat, it's so beautiful. And I have also used fun fur or faux fur, not fun fur. I've used faux fur yarns in my knitting machine, and it made a beautiful hat. So you can knit with the fur too. I'm on the yarn that I pulled out. I'm fighting my own self. The only downside of this yarn is it's a lay flat to dry type situation. But again, like a lot of the yarn I work with is lay flat to dry. And so you got to keep that in mind if you're going to make something like a baby blanket out of this, is that it's a lay flat to dry situation. I don't know what happens with this yarn if it goes in the dryer. I think because it's polyester, it might like melt. Maybe it will felt a little bit. I don't know. Maybe the cotton will cook in the dryer. Because I've had cotton yarns that have cooked in the dryer. Like I made a washcloth or something, threw it in the washer and dryer, and it just destroyed the washcloth. And I was so irritated. But that's just, some yarns are like that. And that might be the recycled nature. It might be more delicate that way, but I still am going to make something pretty out of this. I really like this yarn. And I'm now that I'm thinking about it, I kind of want to make my own cakes, holding two of these yarns together. Make my own marled yarn. Because this is pretty. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I didn't realize I was off camera. Hang on, let me slide you that way a little bit. Alright. Do one more row of the purple. I'm going to keep an eye on the time because we have to leave here at 9 o'clock. I got 15 minutes to finish this video, guys. And Bentley is trying to come to work. Where were you? They all got their flea treatment last night, so he could not sleep in my bed with me. Because that chemical is another thing that will set off my eczema and my flare-ups in my hands. So he's very upset because he can't be near his mom right now. It's my little Benjamin. Yeah, I am feeling no itchiness with this yarn. As you can see, there's nothing on my desk. There's not a sign or a hint of shedding, which was my complaint with the Lion Brand yarn. I also think, if I recall, I think there was a recycled yarn from Hobby Lobby that the same thing is that it shed really bad. And I'm trying to remember what that yarn was, but I don't remember. I'm just thinking all these beautiful light pastel-y colors would be so pretty mixed with this purple in a blanket or a little throw, or shoot, you could make a granny square hat. Granny square scarf would be super cute. These colors would be amazing. And the only reason I'm thinking granny square is because, like I said, I don't like working all in one color. That's my ADHD. It bores me to tears. So a lot of times when I'm doing projects here on the channel, you will see me mix different colors together like this, or in a striping blanket. That's my personal preference for the way my brain works. And don't get me wrong, I love the look of something that's all done in one color, especially white. Oh, crochet that's all white is so beautiful and glamorous, and my brain can't do it. I can't. Like, it's torturous, and I hate that because I want to do those things, but I just can't. It's one of my limitations. Alright, so we got the yellow and the purple. What did I say, the blue next? The blue or the green? I think the green. I was originally thinking the blue, but I think this mint color would be prettier. And that center pulled real easy. And I think I'm just going to do one round with the green because of time constraints. And because Bentley is knocking at the door. Knock, knock, knocking on the bedroom door. 2, 3. Oh yeah, this color is beautiful. And it's funny because it looks more blue next to the purple, but it's the mint color. This is so pretty. Yeah, this yarn is soft. It's not slick or silky soft, but it's cotton ball soft. It's cotton ball soft. Bentley, I will be done in a minute. He's gonna be real mad when I have to leave him. He's gonna be real upset. We have to go way up north for a osteo appointment to get his arm rechecked, just to make sure that it's growing back together, and check the progress of his cast. That cast stinks so bad. In case you just tuned in because you're curious about this yarn and you don't know, my son got hit by a car just over a week ago. He sustained some serious damage on his body, but nothing, it wasn't serious. I don't want to say that. He was affected head to toe with road rash and bruises and abrasions and a hole in his face and a broken arm, but he had slight head trauma. He is okay. He is okay. It's been rough. It's been rough. And I appreciate everyone who reached out to me, because that was terrifying. And a lot of you were like, it's going to take a long time to get over that, and it will, because even this morning I woke up at 6 a.m. with a nightmare about him. Because that is absolutely like a mother's worst possibly conceived thing, if something happened to one of your kids. I even told my kids, I was like, I can handle a lot of things. I could not handle losing one of you. I ain't that strong. Alright, let's get back to the yarn, because now I'm making myself sad. Sorry, I didn't mean to put a damper on anything. It's just where we're at right now. Mama! Oh, yes, Mama! And Ponyo is chewing on her toy right outside the door, so you might be able to hear that. This is really pretty. My vision absolutely came true. Like, this is exactly what I pictured this to look like. There is a African violet hexagon pattern on the Jujus and Stitches channel. And I actually made a blanket with, I think, yarn from AC Moore. I made an entire blanket. I made 90 African violet hexagons using Jada's pattern. And that's what these colors are reminding me of, is that blanket. And I'm thinking this would be so beautiful in the African violets. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. And then if you wanted, you could do a bunch of all the centers, different colors, and then bring in the gray and make that the outer one and do the join as you go method with that, with the gray. Or what other colors did this come in? Because I didn't show you all the colors, did I? So we have the light gray I showed you. I don't have the beige. I have pastel pink, lilac, and yellow, and the salmon and the mint and the sky. I have the purple and the red. And luckily they didn't give me the darker colors, which are not my favorite. The orange, green, brown. The deep blue looks beautiful. Charcoal raven, which is black. Which, isn't that the same name? Yeah, the raven with the raven. That would be pretty. White, which looks not white on here. And then black. That raven looks really pretty though. And I know it's hard for you guys to see, but they sent me like the top row. Just fantastic. Well, minus the beige. They didn't send me the beige. Right? No. Really pretty colors. $2.50 for 251 yards of recycled yarn. You can't beat that. And it feels nice and is really pretty. Yeah, it feels good. I would make a top out of this and wear it. Rubbing it on my face, there's no irritation. No irritation. Very pretty. The only downside is the washing instructions. You have to lay flat to dry. But, I mean, if you're going to make a hat or a scarf or something, you're not going to be washing it all the time, and that's easy to lay flat to dry, to lay out to dry. Mittens. I would even make a baby blanket out of this. I just would. I wouldn't make a baby blanket because a new mom is not going to want to hand wash and lay flat to dry. A new mom is going to want to throw it in the washing machine. I would make a blanket for myself out of this because I know I don't wash my blankets very often because a lot of times my blankets are just decoration and they hang out over a chair or on my bed or on the couch. And in that instance, it could be a work of art. But I still use it, and if it starts to get dirty, I'm going to tell you the truth, I just wash it in the washing machine anyway. And I just deal with the consequences of what happens. And because I have a washing machine that doesn't have the agitator in it, it's a gentler wash, and I can wash it on gentle, and then I throw it in the dryer to fluff to get the extra moisture out, and then you lay it out. My dryer also, or my washer also has a really good spin cycle that will make the clothes sometimes feel dry when they come out of the washer. So if you have a washing machine like that, by all means, wash this on gentle and see what happens. Do a little swatch and wash it. I'm not doing that because I ain't got time. I got enough laundry. With that, I will link these yarns below in the description box. We have the faux fur and the Re-Ply. I will link them. They're affiliate links. And if you click them, I earn a little bit back. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.